Tribbles are no trouble. So this weekend I didn't feel like doing a whole lot of driving. I've been doing a whole lot of driving lately, but I also didn't feel like hanging around the city. I like Seattle, but it can get a little bit much after a while. So I decided to split the difference, and I decided to come down here near Tacoma. This is Point Defiance. And behind me you can see Vashon Island. And, this is a nice place to be, especially today. As you can tell, it's quite sunny, and it's actually 70 degrees. Funny thing about 70 degrees and sunny is apparently that is the temperature that Pacific Northwesterners like to swim, because there were a whole lot of people swimming down at Owen Beach, which is just a little bit down the way. So it was a little bit crowded down there, so I decided to walk up the beach and find a spot that was a little less crowded. Yeah, this is a really nice decision here today. It's really hard to cook on an angle like this. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm up on this little hill. That is Owens Beach down below me. And so the van is listing quite heavily on the left side. So every time I set something down, it slides over to the wall. Oh well. It's van life, huh? It's not a bad view even from here, though. Okay, we prevailed. Even with the slant, I was able to make up a little bit of lunch. You know, corn tortillas are really difficult to find up here. I'm used to being able to find decent corn tortillas most anywhere in Southern California, but hard to find up here. Even Trader Joe's let me down with these, so since they were a little dry and crumbly, I just fried them up in some coconut oil and added in some pork tenderloin that I cooked up, and a couple of eggs, some salsa, and notice the spork, and now I'm going to get back to enjoying the afternoon. I think I'll go take a little walk down there. One of the really cool things about Point Defiance here is that not only do you have the beach that looks out to the water and the islands around, but you also have all these hiking trails that go through Point Defiance. So it actually feels like you're out in the woods. I mean, you sort of are, I guess, but I've just never seen that many parks that have quite as much going on in the same park. Really interesting. So in a recent video, someone noticed this little guy that was sitting on my shelf up over my shoulder. And they asked when I got a pet, being that it's furry and fluffy. Now, I may have fibbed just a little bit and said that it was a Tribble. Now, if you don't know what a Tribble is, that is because you're not a Star Trek fan. Now, oddly enough, I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I am familiar with Tribbles. So if you don't know what a Tribble is, I would suggest you Google it and you'll get your answer. But they are little furry creatures like this that was on the original Star Trek. Anyway, yeah, I fibbed a little bit. This is not actually a pet, and this is not actually a Tribble. What this is for my old microphone. Now I should tell you the name of this, but I really don't like to say the name out loud because, well, I'll just say it, I guess. They call this a dead cat. Now this is neither a cat, nor was it ever a living creature. So I don't know where the name comes from, but what it does is it goes over a external microphone. This is my external microphone, the first one that I ever bought. This is a boom mic from a company called Rode. That is a Australian company that makes very high quality microphones. And this is the Video Mic Me. Now this came highly recommended, and I really like this microphone. Unfortunately, it didn't work so well for me when I updated my phone. And the trouble is, I have a iPhone 7 Plus, and the iPhone 7 Plus doesn't have a normal headphone jack like this. It only has this lightning connector like you see on the end of my headphones. Now Apple gives you a little connector that you can plug into here that has one of these lightning connectors on the end. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work with this microphone with my iPhone 7 Plus. I can use it just fine with my iPad. Doesn't work at all with my iPhone. So that made me look for another option, and so that is what you have been seeing for the last several months on my videos, is this little microphone here. This is a lav mic. I think it's actually called a lavalier mic. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it's a wired lapel mic, and this has worked very well. It's a little bit inconvenient. This little boom mic was nice. I could just plug it into the side of the phone, and I didn't have to be very close to my phone. This lav mic, of course, is corded, and so I've got to plug it into the side of my phone and then clip it onto my lapel. And so while I like the sound that it gives, I'm not crazy about being tethered to my phone and having to be so close to my phone. But a good little mic. Now I should mention that the mic is not really made for shooting in windy conditions, this lav mic, and so it does have a little bit of foam that surrounds the microphone, so it does help when you're filming outside, but doesn't work nearly as well as a proper dead cat does. Now I mention all these things because I know a lot of you want to get into making YouTube videos, or at least making videos. So I just thought I'd pass on this information. The one thing I should say is these microphones are fairly expensive, made by Rode. This one is made by Rode, as well as my old boom mic that I really don't use anymore. But if you want to save yourself a little bit of money, you can always use your headphones, just the headphones that are provided. Because they have a microphone on them, you can use the microphone outside, and because the microphone is noise canceling, it will cut down on a little bit of wind noise, as long as you're not in a too windy situation. I learned that trick from Rolling Earthship. I think he was the first one that I noticed that was doing that. And I did use my mic for a few videos, but again, not the greatest if you're in a high wind situation. And so I was looking for something that would work a little bit better in kind of all environments. And so this little Rode lav mic kind of does it for me. So anyway, I hope you find that useful, and I hope you forgive me for fibbing about my new pet. That's not a pet. But I can just keep calling it a tribble, I guess, because I actually kind of like that word, tribble. It's just funny. Makes me laugh. Okay, come on, do your business. Do your business. Come on, just do your business. I don't want to get up at 3 in the morning to take you out again.